channel. In this today video, we are going to learn about the callback hell and about the promises. So in this one, we will not learn the callback hell briefly, but like it is just on a scenario like that we are using previously, but still we are having the advanced features called as promises. So we will go with the promises directly. So before that, I will just explain you what are the this one callback hell. So I will explain you this one. Okay. So in this one, so they have introduced the callback hell first, and then they have introduced the promises, then they have introduced the async and await. So means like by at the first time they have introduced the callback hell. So they were facing the lot of issues in the callback hell at that moment. So what they have did, they have introduced the promises. So in that promises also, it was on one of the good features, and it has been introduced in the ES6. And then later, for the other purpose things, they have introduced the async and await. So in this one, we will learn about the callback hell first. So basically, callback hell refers to the situation in JavaScript where multiple nested callbacks create complex, deeply identified code, often used to we used to call it as a pyramid of doom. So in this one, like what it is telling, like what it is meant to tell us. So we will create the multiple callbacks. So first, like for that, what we will do in this case, currently what we are doing creating the functions. Okay. See, look at the screen. So in this one, we have created the functions, and then in this one, what we have did, I have created a value and then on callback. So I have called this callback, and inside this one value plus 10 and then one boolean. So in this one, I have called this addition and value as 10, and inside this callback, so added the address and error. So address in the sense addition result. So in that short form, I have written something like that. So you can just cross check, or you can rewrite once again. So inside this one, like what it is happening. So first thing is addition and that 10, and after that address and error. After that, what we are going to add, we are going to add if like not equal to error, and then show the output. So in this one, like what will happen, we will get the output properly. But in this case, like we don't have any like multiple scenarios or anything. But what if we are having the multiple scenarios, something like this? I have already just I have written so that we can prepare fast. And then what we are having, so one addition, inside that addition one subtraction, and inside that subtraction we are having the multiplication. And here the scenario is about the like multiple callback hell. So callback hell in the sense what it is happening, one callback is already called, inside that one another callback is called, and then again another callback is called, again and again we are calling the same callback. And here what the problem is happening in the sense, suppose in this case, if this subtraction is getting failed. Okay, if the subtraction is getting failed, then again like what will happen in the sense, like multiplication is not run, but addition will run. Means in this one, addition, this multiplication is dependent on this subtraction, and subtraction depend on the addition. Now in this case, like in any one of the scenario, in currently, okay, I will save this one, and okay, I will correct this. And you can see addition result is to 20, subtraction result is to 0, and multiplication result is to 100. So we are getting the proper result, and there is nothing uh, like big logic we have added here. But in this case, like what will happen if in scenario, just imagine in due to some bugs, or else any API respond is not properly been corrected. At that moment, what will happen, you can see this one, addition result is 20, but here subtraction and multiplications are not at all printing. But here in this case, multiplication is the one of the correct output. But why we are not getting the output, in the sense here subtraction is getting failed, and multiplication is dependent on the subtraction. So multiplication is dependent on the subtraction. So what will happen, the subtraction has been failed. Because of that, it is getting failed to others also. We are having only one or two two to three different nested, but in the real world scenario projects, we will be having the lot of nested things that we have haven't seen still. But in if case like if you are doing any one of the project, I will let you show in my previous project if I'm having, I will show you. Okay, leave that one. But now we will come to our real world scenario. In this case, like we have seen this subtraction is like getting failed because of this multiplication is not at all running. And we have seen the output also addition result is to 20. So this is the one of the thing. And here you can see the structure, and this structure is like a one of the if you invert this properly, we can say it as a like pyramid structure. So for that we will say it as a pyramid of doom. So this is the reason why why we have stopped using the promises this one. This is the reason we have stopped the. And here is the reason why we have stopped using the callback hell. And we will later we will, if you want, you can just pause this video and you can take the definitions or else the example. And we will go with the promises. Now the promises are the one of the most important thing, and inside our JavaScript, and this is the one of the ES6 feature. Inside this one, they have introduced the it means it is a solution for the callback hell. Okay, here already I have written it is the solution for the callback hell. The code either execute or fail. In both the cases, user will get to notified. Are you getting what it meant to say? Note, it either execute or resolve or reject. Okay, syntax. We will directly go with our code. So before going to the code, we will just we will glance what are the concepts they are having inside the promises. So inside this one, they are having the static method and instance method. First, we will learn about the water promises, and then we will come with the static method and then instance method. Okay, so we'll open our editor, and I will just clear all these things. If you want, you can take this one. How to write the promises? To write, okay, promise is having one basic syntax. First, we need to write the variable name. Let p1 is to new promise. Okay, and this is the syntax for the promises. And inside this one promises, it require means it accept two things. One is the resolve, okay, and another one is the reject. So it is having it accept two things. One is the resolve state, and the second one is the rejected state. So inside this one, first the thing is the promise is having three stages. The stage one is the fulfilled stage, and the second stage is the rejected state, and the third one is the pending state. We will learn with the resolve state first. Resolve, okay, resolve of hello, and inside this one, I will just browse the thing, and then I will just console.log of p1. And then after this one, you can see I have got a promise, and inside this promise I have got an array of object. Okay, inside this one prototype is to promise, and promise state is to fulfill, and third one is the hello. I have told you it is having the three state. One is the resolve state, that is known as fulfilled state. Another one is the rejected state, that is rejected. And third one is the pending state. Now we will look for the rejected state. Okay, I will just copy paste the entire same thing. Let p2, okay, let p2, and then here instead of this hello, I will add world. So hello world, that's it. And then I will go back. You can see now it is been working as a resolve. Now if I make it as rejected state, now you can see I have got one error, and this error can be handled from our side. So for that, before learning like how to handle the error, first we will learn the what are the three stages of this one. Okay, three states. One is the pending state, second one is the fulfilled state, and third one is the rejected state. And we have seen the fulfilled state is the first one, and the rejected state is the second one. You can see promise state is to rejected, and this is the about the promise, resolve and rejected, and the third one is pending state. Okay. Now if I don't write anything inside this one and it is empty, p1 is equal to new promise, resolve or reject, console.log of p1. And if I open this one, and you can see promise state is to pending. I had told you clearly that we are having the three states of promises. So inside this promises, what it is happening, it is having the three states. One is the pending, fulfilled, and rejected. So these are the states we have learned properly. And after that, we are having the promise types. So in the first type is promise static, and second one is the instance. And inside this one, promise.all settle, promise.any, and promise.trace, we are having the four different methods in static method. And inside in static, sorry, in instance, we are having the dot, then dot catch, and dot finally. So how to use all these things, and where we are using all these things, I will explain you one by one. First, I will write the promise.all, and we will go with this example. I will make it as something as p3, and then okay, and here also p3, and then after that resolve, and here I will write something as sky. Okay, I just added random word. Okay, so inside this one, the first thing is the hello state. Hello p1 means hello, that p1 is getting fulfilled, and second one is the rejected state, and third one is also resolved state. So and inside this one, now we will use the promise.all method. So promise.all method, and I will remove this console.log method. Okay, why? Because ultimately it will be printing again and again. To write the promise.all, we are having one format. So promise dot all, and inside this one it accept one array. Inside this array, we need to pass the multiple conditions like p2 and comma p3. And then after this one, if I write something like this, after that it won't give any data to us. To if you want any data, so then what we need to do, we need to use the dot then and dot catch. So dot then, what it is going to do, it is going to whatever the data is been printing, like try catch we are having, right? So try so if you are not aware of the try catch means, if the code is correct, then go with this. Error is there, then go with the catch. So in this case, dot then, what it is doing, dot then is using means acting as a try, and then we are having catch block. Inside this, if anything error, that can be handled. Okay, console.log of error, and console.log of result. And this is the way to write the dot then and dot catch method. And if I go back, and you can see world is printing. So inside this one, what it is happening, instead of printing all these states, it is going to print only the rejected state. Are you getting? So inside promise.all, what it is going to do, it is going to neglect the resolve state, it is going to print only the rejected state. If you want, I can give the definitions of this one. Okay, yeah, and you can say promise.all of p1 p2 p3 dot then result and dot catch. And then you can see inside this one, if all the data are getting passed, okay, if all the data okay, I have written here, if any one of these promise get rejected, then it will print the rejected only, others are not executed. Are you getting? So inside this one, result, and I will save, and if I go back, now I will get an array. If the data, if any one is getting rejected, at that moment others will not execute, only this p2 is going to execute. So this is the scenario for the promise.all. So if you want, you can pause this video and you can take down this one. And the second method is all settle. So inside this all settle, it is going to print an array of object. Inside this array of object, what it is going to do, either the data is fulfilled or rejected, both the states will be written here. You can see here status is to fulfilled and status is to rejected. Means what it is going to do, promise dot all settle, what it is going to mean to say here, it is going to execute whether it is passing or getting failed, that doesn't matter, but still it will try to complete the entire execution. So this is the scenario for the all settle. Okay, if you want, you can pause this video and you can take down this one. Here all will get executed, but in array of object format, either it fulfilled or rejected, something like this. And then promise dot any. So promise dot any is any, this is the another method. Inside this one, promise.any, what it will do, it will execute the first resolve statement. Are you getting? It is going to resolve the first okay, the first or the whatever it is going to resolve, that is going to print it. If the first one is getting as a fail, okay, if the first one is getting as a fail and second one is also getting fail, then it will go for the third one. Are you getting here? If I make it as resolve, okay, then world it is printing, means the whatever it is going to response as a whatever it is going to resolve, the only that data is going to be printed at inside the any. So the name only tell that any one of you must execute. If all are getting execute, but at that moment also the only the one statement will be selected in the inside this one, these two are getting executed, but it is still it is going to select only the first come. And then inside this one we are having one like one scenario. If all the data are getting fail, okay, if all the data are getting fail, at that moment we will get one error, aggregate error, all promises were rejected. Are you getting here? If all are getting rejected, then we will receive this kind of error. If any one is getting pass, then at that moment we can say it as a resolved statement and that data is printing properly. So this is the is use case of a promise.any. Here here if any one also execute or fulfilled, it will be displayed output, means already whatever I said that in the shortcut form you can say, if anyone, okay, if there, okay, if there is no fulfilled state, then we will get aggregate error. Already I have displayed you like all the things are like not resolved, okay, means all are getting rejected. At that moment we will get an aggregate error. And the last one is the promise.trace. Promise.trace, what it is going to do, okay, promise dot trace in the sense the first one, the who are going to finish this execution, it is going to print for that. Hello is printing the first, why either resolve or reject, but here the execution one who complete the first, it is going to display. Okay, if you want to see set timeout resolve of hello, and it is taking around 1 second. At that moment, okay, it is going to execute for this world. Why? Because it is taking 1 minute or one, sorry, 1 second of time. Are you getting here? The promise dot trace, what it mean to say here, the one who complete the execution first, either resolve, reject, it doesn't matter at all. The one who complete the execution first, it is going to print on the screen. And in this case, I have used the set timeout. And those who are not aware with the set timeout, here the set timeout in the sense like it will take a time. After that particular this time, it is going to execute. And in this current scenario, uh, it is taking 1 second of time. After this 1 second of time, what it is going to do, it is going to execute. But these things are taking 0.1 or 0.5 seconds, 0.5 seconds max to max to execute. At that moment, this is the first scenario which has been executed in our compiler. For that reason, we have got the world as a output. And here we have seen the promise.trace, and inside this one, dot then dot catch, and there is one another method called dot finally. So dot finally, what it will do, either resolve, reject, whatever it may be, but in both the cases it is going to be displaying the data. Are you getting? Means why we are using inside this here finally, because resolve comma, okay, okay, I will just add promise dot trace is running. Promise dot trace is working, or not having any errors, you can say something like that, so that we will get to notify that it is working properly. Means sometimes we will think that this function is not at all working. At that moment we need to use the finally, so that we will get to know it is working. And if you want the real world example of these promises, for real world example, we can take as a login page. Inside the login page, by default it will be in a pending state. Okay, by default it is a in a pending state. But when the user going to add the credentials, okay, when the user is going to add the credentials, at that moment, if the credentials are correct, okay, if the credentials are correct, then it is going to be fulfilled. If the credentials are wrong, then it will be rejected state. So this is the entire scenario for the promises. And here there is one small example I have written of real world example as a API 1 and API 2 and API 3, three APIs I'm having. Inside this three API, the one who execute first, it is going to print. I have written here seconds also, 3 second, 2 second and 1 second. The one who complete the execution first, it is going to be printed. And here the one important thing is there. So whenever you're using the fetch keyword, okay, inside the promises, we need to use the JSON also after this one dot then result of JSON, so that we need to convert the means we need to parse the data, that means that should be in a readable format. For that we are using the res.json. Maybe in the upcoming video I will let you know how to use this fetch API and like using the promises and using the async await. So this is the scenario for the entire promises. Thanks for watching the video.